All right, guys, how's it going? Oh, Sarah, what's up, man? Conquer, Arblade, Frosty. Oh shit, Frosty. All right. All right, do it a little. Let me attend to my farms real quick. So, a lot of it is just actually just killing some barbs. Um, getting my honor up, right? We do have fighting coming up sometime. I think within the next week. It's going to be a ruins. So we'll kind of go over the plan. I do need to push honor a little bit, just so I could get my tech further. And then a lot of it is actually figuring out the support skill. So the Alliance Invictus, there's a, it's kind of like the Bastions, right? Where you can select the skills. And the skills are actually really, really good. There's two specifically, for example, for Archer. Right, so there's one for Nebu. I'm actually doing the dailies for Nebu just so I could get his second skill max. Where I think you could get 15% march speed and then 30% defense. So the march speed is really, really good for archers, right? And then the other one, where's the other one? We'll kind of go over these skills, see what you guys think I should do. Right, some of them I just don't have the commander max, but I'll actually have 13 skills max, and then I'm probably gonna be forced to use this Ramses one as the only one that's not maxed. But yeah, this one right here, Empire Builder by Thutmose, right? 15% attack, 10% march speed, and then if you're off territory, you do 15% more damage. That's actually really, really good. So there's two archer skills where one you can get 10% more march speed, one you can get 15% more march speed. Yeah, the engineering march, actually, we'll be going over that, but I'm running Margaret Cordoba, and then for engineering, for sure, I think I'm gonna take this one with Boudica, the regular Boudica Celtic blood, right? So, if you guys don't know, engineering, there's a couple weaknesses. One of the biggest ones is actually gaining rage, right? Now, usually, it's really that first skill cycle. It takes a while to get it off, right? But also, having this healing is extra effective when it's for engineering. And then the other skill I was probably thinking of taking is actually, where is it? This one as well, right? So 10% more normal damage, right? So Cordoba is also a smite damage commander. This also increases his active skill, but another way to gain rage. So I'm thinking probably Celtic Blood and National Hero. Or maybe just put this El Cid one, where you just straight up get a 10% 1000 damage factor and some proc onto the siege attack too. So that's where we're going to figure out, right? So I'm going to have 7 marches, so I'm going to need to figure out 14 skills. Some are kind of built in where I'm like, I'm forced to put them at a certain spot, and some, maybe you guys have some suggestions. I think I already have an idea what I'm going to do, but we could talk through it and see how that goes. We don't have a normal attack skill this time. We do have a normal attack. There's actually 2 normal attack ones, right? So I think one of them almost has to go on the Lucia March, just because you'd be wasting it almost. But like this one, the Queen Tamar one, you deal 10% more normal damage. Then there's like a 10% chance to reduce a target's attack by 30%, and it's all right. And then the other one is this National Hero of Herman, which is also 10% more normal damage. Gumbo, what's up, man? Oh, Kino? I didn't see you earlier. Okay, Kino, Gumbo. We have some future 3092 members in the chat. That's cool. Okay, but anyways, we'll probably get to that a little bit. More people join. In the meantime, let me... I'm not going to send out gathering marches, because I might actually just do some 5 march barbing later. I'm not a big chainer, so you're probably not going to see me chaining on stream. Again, if I do, it would be like very sporadic. All right. But Ethan, what's up, man? You guys don't know, Ethan is one of our migration officers. Probably for this cycle, especially, me and Ethan have talked to most of the people we accepted. Thoughts on the new Archer? So, I mean, it's interesting, right? But without the numbers, so like, you know, how much is that healing, and then how does that translate over the true damage, all that stuff. Oh, I think one thing is for sure, this new Garrison Archer commander is going to be the best chaining commander in the game, right? Because you have a 5-target circular AoE commander that could heal and do damage at the same time, like, and it has march speed on it. It's going to be the best chaining commander. How good is he actually in Garrison? We have to see the stats. Oh yeah, Gumbo's already in. Well, what I'm just talking about is, like, you know, either accepted or already migrated in. What's my vision for 3092? B seed, A seed, or low imp? Listen, you guys are gonna get me in trouble. Oh, you're gonna get me in trouble. So there's my vision, and then there's what other people's vision are, right? I think if you ask me my personal preference, I think starting out, I mean, I guess there's a chance we'll be a mid A, but most likely we'll probably start out high A, and then if it's just what I would like it to eventually turn into, it's like highest imp, like the highest imp fighting at the highest level, and then competing to be the best kingdom in the game. Right now, the reason why I might get in trouble is because, you know, I'm not like a king of 68, and like Nugget or I don't know, even Panther or Nikki might kill me for saying that. But if it's what I would prefer to see and that's where I would go for sure. Oh, Kino, thanks for the membership, man. Welcome to the short bus game. Now you could send out the emojis. Really appreciate it, dude. M Marius, what's up, man? Frosty, yeah, should he suck in the reports? At least these Garrison leaders can chain effectively. I mean, again, without seeing the stats, it's hard to say, but it looks like, at least without looking at the stats, this new Archer Garrison is going to be like the first real counter to smite damage. So that'll be really interesting, right? At least to a smite rally counter, which I don't think the new Scipio rallies have been too out of control from what I can see. Like, they're good, right? It's probably, is it the best rally, or is it still going to be Asher with like ZL or Henry? Right? I'm not sure. Because like I have no aspirations to be in Rally Garrison. I just know the basics, but I don't really pay too much attention to that. So yeah, I think people are also still messing around with the combos to figure out what works best. I've heard like 3 or 4 different pairings mentioned, right? Like, some people are saying Tariq, Scipio is the way to go. Or some people say the new Scipio with William Wallace, the new Scipio with Luce, right? And then maybe is there one more? But yeah, so I don't know. From below, talk about what was decided as a kingdom after getting screwed over in matchmaking. Okay, what's the update? With the new cows come after archers, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like engineering after, right? Engineering leadership, or like if you continue the cycle, that's probably where it's gonna go. Right, but let's get to the archer first. I know they announced it, but it's gonna be a while, right? Like, earliest you'll see them is probably October, so we still have a while. Keep, what's up, man? I saw some reports for the Scipio, but like the way they were doing it, they were just like launching it without even necessarily controlling the field, and then just letting it get swarmed down. They're probably just filling it with their farm. So I don't know how much you want to take 1486's like reports as an indication, right? But again, I didn't pay attention too much. The new Inf loses to any Hera combo. Interesting. You guys fought in Zone 5, you're able to hold for about 30 hours, but your allies barely lasted 12 hours. So as a kingdom, you're just going to sit back, relax, and farm, then take the first pop after KVK ends. Ah, man. That hurts, dude. So you're saying you guys fought Zone 5, but you're not going to fight anymore, and there's not going to be a Kinsem fight? That just kind of sucks. Am I planning to push to T6? I don't think there's going to be a T6. I thought the whole point was that they talked about how you're not going to have T6 like the way we think about it now, right? Just like upgrade the tech. But I don't know. I mean, if they release it, you want to fight at the highest level, you just got to do what you have to do, right? But I don't know. I don't think T6 is that good of an idea. If I had to give my opinion. And by saying they lasted 5 hours, they really lasted about 3, but had territory for about 12 hours. I mean, are you talking about 2975, or are you talking about someone else? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Maybe not. Pretty much because the two enemy camps had decided they wanted an easy win. Yeah. I don't know what the answer is, right? Because I think you should be rewarded for winning, but I feel like only being able to get Hunter reliably from the Autarch right now is making a lot of kingdoms do a lot of non-productive shit, you know, as far as making the KVK fun. So I don't know what the answer is to that. You want to make the reward substantial enough. Is Hunter the way to go? I'm not sure. XE, looks like we're gonna win KVK. No, by no means is that for sure. I think everyone that kind of understood or has been closer to the situation was probably expecting win to win. 2975 just has about 80 fighters left, you know. And then when you're fighting probably 2 to 2.5 times your numbers, I don't think anyone was expecting them to win that zone, right? But when they fight us, I don't think it's going to look like that. So there's still a lot to be determined. But by no means does that mean we're going to win this KVK. Rez, you thought that's what you were talking about too? Hey, you know, gotta get a shot in here or there, right? Aquino. So you think for open field it's crazy at the moment? Belly, Eleanor, Scipio A, and William Wallace. And then now the Archer Garrison after engineering. Only probably the Wheel Archer to max. Yeah, I don't know. If it was just Belly, right, okay, fine, right? But now if you have William Wallace, I think you're going to expect that the Archer commander is not going to be the new best commander of the game, right? That will kind of break with this pattern. I think it'll be good. It'll be one of those where it's probably like a slight upgrade over Boudica. But then if you have Boudica, depending on how far ahead you are in gold heads, you know, do you just skip or do you go for it, right? But it's not like a must invest. If I had to take a guess, just based on how Belly and William Wallace is, like if you didn't have Alex, yeah, you probably would just do William Wallace, right? Because you're not going to invest in Alex at this point. But if you have Boudica, are you going to invest in this new Archer? I'm going to guess no, but you know, I guess we'll have to see when it comes out. And then after this whole cycle is over, are they going to go back to like another like jump power creep? I mean, We really don't know what Lilith is going to decide, right? If you look at the kill ranking from Zone 5, your camp had the best stats by far. Hopefully you guys decide to fight more, you know? Like, just fighting in Zone 5 and then sitting out. Rim below, I don't know, man. Oh, Raz, you thought they were just going to sit out. Nah, I think they're going to fight us. What do I think about the new Archer? I was just talking about it earlier. It's hard to tell without the stats. There's a lot of interesting stuff. It's like I don't mind it because I've been playing this game for a while now. So if you introduce like true damage, right, it's just like one more thing you just kind of need to understand, right? But I feel like for a brand new player that's just trying to figure out the difference between Scipio and Scipio Prime, like all of these different mechanics could probably be a little overwhelming. I mean, it depends on the stats, right? Like, how strong is the healing? And then, like, I think we probably need a little bit more info on how, like, true damage works. But, yeah, I mean, I will say this. Probably they're going to be the best chaining march, right? Because you have a circular AoE heal and damage, for sure. Now, and it looks like it's going to be a counter to Smite, which I didn't even know they really needed a counter in rallying right now, but I don't know. We don't know until we see the stats. You might fight altars, but it wouldn't matter as it would be 2 kingdom versus 3. Definitely matters, man. It just so the way I like to think about it, think of like in like any sports, or I mean even like any kind of athletics, right? There's like practicing, and then there's actually like playing the game. So like a sport like college football in the US here, there's like a long down season. So you know these players stay in shape during the off season, they practice a lot, but between games they're probably taking like 7-8 months. Actually, no, like maybe like 9-10 months, depending on how good the team is, and then they're playing a bowl game. Right, so usually when they first start playing in the season, they're going to be really rusty. Right, so I don't know. I think like kingdoms, ideally, you just never sit out of KVKs. You know, you just fight. It keeps people interested. It keeps the kingdom sharper, and I think I just prefer that. I prefer kingdoms just not sit out at all. You know. And then, you know, 2v3, fine, you know, go for it, though, and then make them prove to you that you're going to lose. Because if you guys fought really hard and it was, like, at least, like, semi-competitive, like, why not, right? Aquino, I actually skipped Belly, and you're also going to skip William Wallace, just spinning the wheels, but no need. Yeah, actually, I'm going to max Belly, and then I'm going to skip William Wallace. Like, I guess, like, a regret I have is, like, I didn't max the William Wallace wheel. And then after getting more and more reports, actually, and using the reports manager to compile it, I decided to just skip them. So I'll actually be a little bit ahead on gold heads. You know, and, you know, who knows I'm going to use it on the Archer. By how our fire fought, it would really turn out to be like a 6v3 to 4 in Kingsland, so it's just not worth it for us to drain ourselves on a KVK that we can't win. I don't know, man. It's like, oh no, like we can't win, so we're just not gonna fight. I don't know. I think I harp on that enough. You already know my thoughts on that. Belly you need because you're using 3 cap marches. I mean, listen, this is not a popular opinion, right? Because I probably get more pushback and comments about this than anything else I say, but I think Belly is better than Hua. So I skip Hua, and then I have the chance to either pick Hua or Belly, and I'm actually maxing Belly right now. for my 2 cap marches. Mike Hawk, you're almost at 1,400 gold heads. Sounds like you might want to consider going into engineering. IBF, belly better than Hua is insane. I don't think it's that insane. What are your cap marches? Once I max belly, I'm gonna be running probably Joan belly and then Nevsky William. I do want to just like mess around with Nev Joan and then actually belly primary. I know it's like the mobility tree, but I actually want to try out going to the top of the cav wheel and then actually fully taking advantage of belly and Williams instant proc. And then, you know, first 10-second of combat, you do a lot more damage. Seeing how that actually does, you know, it probably won't work, but if not, I know Joan belly and Nevsky William will work really well. That'll probably be my 2 cab marches. You're waiting for Margaret to drop on the daily? So am I, man. I think a lot of people are actually waiting for that to happen. So IBF, right? Hua's a beast, and then like I think where people want to point out is like the reports, and that's where it's one of those. If you're making that case, why don't you run Attila Takeda, right? Because the reports are going to be good. So Attila Takeda's reports are good. Why don't you run him, right? Like it's the same same thought process. Like if the trades are good, why do people frown upon running Attila Takeda now if the reports are good, right? And you know, I know my answer to that, but I'm just asking why you wouldn't go that route. Rumbolo, see where I'm coming from. You think all kingdoms should fight? But you guys lasted 30 hours. Most of that time was spent on our fort with like 15 people and they just couldn't burn it. Yeah. Would be sick if engineering comes in dailies. I think it almost has to, right? Because Margaret came out in March of 23. So at this point, we're almost a year and a half in. And if you look at the commanders that are coming out, actually, let's go to the dailies. Okay. So, wait, what am I doing? Yeah, okay, dailies. So right now, right, the latest commanders that have been out, let's see, these are all old. So if we're at Scipio, is this Scipio? I thought we had someone else come out after that. Okay. So Boudica and Henry would actually be the 2 newest commanders, right? Because archers come out after infantry. So wasn't it Margaret and Cordoba? I mean Margaret and Barber that came out after these 2, or is there someone else in between? Right, because as they're releasing these commanders, oh, maybe it's Cavs. Maybe it's going to be Joan next, and then Margaret. I don't know. I think Joan came out before Margaret, actually. Actually, I'm sure she did. So maybe Joan will be in the dailies. Who came out with Joan? Oh, Jan Ziska, right? Jan and Joan. And then maybe after that, it'll be Margaret, if I had to pick a guess. I don't know, actually. Rez, you're about to do a second cab march and we're gonna max Hua. Hey, trust me, man. I'm in the minority when I give my opinion about Hua. Like, I think he's good. I would take Belly over him. Doing Canyon on farms is some next level dedication. Hey, you know? That's one of the things. I actually have my main farm. I actually do almost everything. Like I literally treat that farm like a free to play that I'm not trying to build stats on, but I actually do everything on there. It's kind of crazy. But all the other farms, yeah, I think I just like go through, click some of the events. I actually usually do it way faster. And when I'm on stream, like reading chat, I'm really not good at multitasking. So trying to do my farm and read chat, I'm way slower. But yeah, I don't know. That's why I like, even during KVK, I have to be really selective when I'm streaming, because if I have to do some like other stuff for the kingdom and I can't stream and do that at the same time, I'm going to choose doing stuff for the kingdom over streaming. But I definitely want to stream as much of it as I can once our fighting actually starts. Okay, let's actually take a look at these support skills. Let's see. How many people do I know that max belly prime and benched him versus people who max Hua and benched him? I want to say I know that many people that max belly and benched him, but it's probably more than Hua. Iru Gundir. But I'll say this, if you want to go off of what most people do as your indicator for just making decisions, you're gonna make the wrong decision a lot of the times. Like for example, in investing, right? Whenever a lot of people think it's a good idea, that means it's not a good idea, right? So there's comfort and like getting a lot of agreement, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's the best play. You know, the best play is the best play, and I think it's really important to actually be able to separate like the comfort of being in the majority to actually understanding the mechanics and then being able to think for yourself. Engineering commanders are only good in altars. I wouldn't say that. They're definitely good in altars, but I think they're good in a lot of different scenarios. Where they're not good is when the ball is moving really fast and then you're winning on the enemy's territory. Like, it's just unusable. And that's the reason why, unless you're a siege main, where you're only doing siege, I wouldn't recommend investing in engineering until like at the earliest your 4th March. It still feels so weird to see Scipio and Nevsky in the dailies. Yeah, I'm kind of used to it now. Okay, Hera and Bobber at least should be in the next dailies. Oh my god, Hera would be amazing in the dailies. Margaret might not because she was an event commander. I don't think they have Wu in the dailies either. Yeah. Wait, Margaret came out before Joan? I thought it was Joan and then Margaret, but I don't know. Rez, who should I do as a secondary to him? I don't have William, so I was thinking of maxing Mina or a McMed. Not really sure though. Well, first of all, there's like a good chance that Belly's not that good as a primary, right? But I haven't seen anyone actually try it and prove it. Everyone just assumes the mobility tree is trash and hasn't even tried it out, right? So I'll try it out with when I have Belly with William just to see, right? Because once you have a report manager, like you can objectively just measure how the trades are and everything. But for me, it's going to be Joan and Belly. You know, William is so good. William is the most underrated commander of the game to me. McMed is real good with Hua and Storm. YSG is amazing. YSG is amazing with Nevsky or Hua. Like, amazing. It's almost such a shame that he's locked into Archer unless you have an Artifact KVK, because like the synergy with YSG and these like highs, like skill damage increase in Cav commanders is through the roof. You can't bench Hua when running 2 Cav marches. I mean, you can, right? It's just like, I think most people won't. you have YSG behind Boudica. That March is very mid. Herman YSG actually does really well. And then ZL Boudica actually does really well. I was split in that way. Did I expect 29.75 to lose in the zone? Yes. And it was really important that Win actually beat 29.75. Because if Win could not beat 29.75 in that zone, like, we're completely cooked with this KVK. We have no chance. You think Nevsky gets benched for Hua? Not gonna lie. Kilday, I completely disagree. Nevsky is way better than Hua, in my opinion. How can you get into this Plotto Goblin chat thing? You know, I could invite you. Let's see. Let me invite you right now. Wait, are we not friends on here? Wait, Kino, shoot me a friend invite on oh wait. Never mind. I'm not. Oh wait, I'm on my main. Yeah. Shoot me a friend invite, please, and then I'll add you. Didn't Kane bench Belly Prime except for swarming? Maybe. Trinity. Every single commander release is similar. Chiz makes a video saying, wow, he's doing so good in Arc of Osiris 1v1 duels, and some gullible will max him regardless if he's actually good. Man, I feel like that's a little unfair to him. I doubt he said like, did he say Sargon was good? I don't know, maybe. I don't know then. Oh wait, my cock. Oh, Res? Okay. So if you just have Boudica and YSG, I mean, I guess you have to run it that way, right? Okay. All right. Anyways, let's take a look at these support skills. Okay. So I'm going to pull this up so we can mess around with this here. Okay. So... Oops. Projects. Okay. I actually need to update this. Okay, I'm going to start a new thing. Up. Okay, we will update this. Okay, so this is my marches right now. From here, let's actually copy. Okay, so Celtic Blood. Right. So I'll just even talk through this, right? So Celtic Blood, I'm pretty sure this is going to go on my Siege March. It's really important for you to be able to heal in Siege, because you're most likely to be able to get into like really, really long fights, right? And then the more you can heal, you can keep your troop count higher. Like the amount of benefits you get from healing from for engineering is way more than just like a normal field march. With Herman, by the way, guys, I can't really see chat right now, so if you guys are saying stuff and I'm not responding or looking at it, I actually have a different screen open. Okay, so National Hero, the Rage is pretty good, right? I'm pretty sure I also want this on the engineering. So for anyone that's used engineering, the Rage gain to get the first skill cycle off is really weak. If you have like a 1, or like if you're like on average able to like get 1 or 2 of these off, especially for the first skill cycle, will make a huge difference. And then also normal damage, not that great if you don't have smite, right? But Cordoba for engineering is also smite. So, like, I'm pretty sure National Hero and Celtic Blood, these two I'm going to use on my Siege March. This one is really good to get a finishing blow. I would actually say, if I did use Hua, pretty sure this would go on the Hua March, but this one is kind of open right now, Oblique Tactics, as far as where I would end up putting it, you know. This one, I don't think there's like a locked in spot, right? Let's copy this. Okay. So Viking Lord, I feel like this one almost has to go on my Guan Scipio March, just because the Guan one I have to put on my other infantry march, right? So this one, I mean, just a solid 10%, like 20% of stats. You can't really complain about that. But I think that's going to go on my second infantry march, which would be Guan Scipio. Let's see what you guys are saying in chat, actually. Oh crap, it's going crazy. Okay. Like that, blah blah blah. Added. Kill Day, I don't think Asher should be a higher priority than William Wallace and Billy, just because we're so close to the. We're not so close, right? But we're at least going to find out who the next archer is. So if the next archer isn't that good, I think you can make a case for Asher. But without knowing what the next archer is, I would not touch Asher Benapal right now. Who do you think is better behind Ash Max, Nebu, or Max YSG with a third relic? I would take YSG. The Goblin Chat. I don't know what it's not some like exclusive thing. Get the Goblin Chat. We're not friends. There we go. Okay. I mean, I don't think Plato is. Wait, what can I? Oh, you're. Okay. You have like this weird suffix thing in front of your name. Okay. Oh my god. How do I add your name without this thing? Okay. Let me click your profile. Go. Here we go. All right, you're in the Goblin Chat. Okay. Right now, we have 1k heads. Maxing new archers and Asher is likely to play. Maybe. If you're like talking about you have to invest in archers. Right. But I would actually just wait right now. Okay, anyways, let's get back to the skills. Man, forget about Belly. You guys are a bunch of Belly haters over here. Alright. Okay. I'll get all this on the screen and then we can actually go over it. Okay. So that's Viking Lords. Probably going to go on like one skip. Queen Tamar of Georgia. I almost feel like I should just put this on the Lucia March just because of the 10% more normal damage. Right, so normal damage is basic attack and counterattack. But for a Smite Commander, it also just means the Smite damage gets a 10% increase. The second part is whatever, is kind of mid. But if I want to put this Rage one on the Engineering, where I could probably maximize the effectiveness of this, will probably actually be on my Lucia March. Let's actually copy this. Right. Emotep. So this one obviously is going to go on one of the two archers. I haven't decided which one. There's two skills where you could get March speed. I actually think this next one with Martel's 30% counterattack, that for sure I want to put on one of the archer because they're the most targeted. So if they're going to be the most targeted, I might as well make them a lot more prickly, right? But let's copy this emo tip. We'll figure this out. And then the Martel counterattack. All right. So next one is this poem of El Cid. It's actually kind of whatever, right? It's like a 1000 damage factor instant proc. I was thinking of also putting this on the engineering march instead, right? Because you just get free basic attacks essentially. You can instant proc like 10% of the time. But if I'm gonna do these two, I don't know. I need to find a place for this El Cid skill. Okay. Next one. This one is a really good skill. You straight up just take 10% less damage. So I was also thinking of putting this on an archer probably. Again, because they're the most targeted. And then if you have less than 60% of your units remaining, every time you're hit with a basic attack, 10% chance to reduce the damage received by an extra 30% for 3 seconds. Like, this is the all damage. I don't know. This is a really good skill, like support skill. I think I want to put this on my archer for sure. Okay. Okay. Next one. Did I skip anything? Okay. Lord of Land and Sea. So this one is also a really good skill, right? 20% more skill damage, 20% more attack. Looking at my marches, the one I feel like that's actually lacking a ability to boost skill damage the most is probably the Guan Skip March. So without thinking about too much, my first inclination was actually to put this on the Guan Scipio March. Right, because right now, Guan, if you get like a shield, you could potentially get 15% more skill damage, and then Scipio just has a built-in 10% for his expertise, so it's not very high. And the rest of that March's kit is really good, like, but I think the lack of skill damage increase is really holding that March back. So I think this will really help out. Empire Builder, obviously this has to go on Archer, right? So just figuring out between this one and the Nebu skill, which one I want to put on which. So I'm actually running 2 archers. I'm running ZL primary, Boudica secondary. By the way, that order does way better than if you ran Boudica primary. And then I'm running Herman primary with YSG secondary. So let's put Empire Builder here. Charlemagne, not going to use this. Even if it was max, I'd probably get, what, like 1000 damage factor shield, which is not that good. This Guan one, I have to put on the Lucia March, because you can't put it on the, you know, you can't put it on the same commander that already has the skill. So the Lucia Alex March is just gonna march 15% faster. And actually get a slight healing when it exited. This would actually be amazing. This would be amazing if I could put this on an engineering march. Mostly for this healing when you exit combat, but it's for infantry only. Let's see. And then so okay, let's go to this. Okay, so this one is actually full. It's going to be 30% defense and 15% march speed. This is Nebu's second skill. I will get this to 5 by the time we definitely by Kingsland, but probably before that. I'll mess around with it, but this is also going to go on one of the archer marches. It doesn't have the other one, right? So I want both archer marches to get a lot more march speed, and it's actually really cool that this KVK format actually has 2 skills that you can do that, which is why I'm actually buying dailies for Nebu right now. So now the challenge is I have 4 skills, well 5 skills, right, where it's all at 1, and I'm not going to get it higher. This Trajan one, right, you're getting 2% defense every 10 seconds. Like maybe for a siege march, like a stay in combat, it's good. This one is just like very low stats, right? It's Bertrand's skill. The Cyrus one, it's like, it's kind of mid even if you get it max, Probably honestly better for like rallying or garrison. And then we already went to the Charlemagne one. So I almost by default have to go with Ramses, right? So this is just 1 point in it. You have a 10% chance to do a very slight heal, right? So basically half the white damage. But also you actually could gain 20% defense for 3 seconds. So for 1 point in here, I think this would be the best one. Obviously, this would be probably the weakest one, just because I only have 1 point in there. So now I have all the skills here. All right. And we're actually going to just pair it with the different comparisons now, right? Let's actually take a look at chat. Let's see. Let me catch up. Del says should be on Lucha. You think so? He does have a higher chance of making it happen, but is it worth putting that skill on there just because it has a higher chance? It's like a 1,000 damage factor instant proc. Like it's, I don't know. 10% less damage is worth how much defense stats would I say? So let's just take health, right? So I did the calculation before. If you put Scipio's 30% health debuff on someone, depending on the troop type and how many stats they already have, it's probably going to be somewhere from like 16 to 19% all damage taken, right? So if you're taking 10% less all damage, it's probably the equivalent to like, if I had to take a guess, probably around 20% of health. Like, oh, Bay, what's up, man? Oh, the enemy is here. Bay is here, guys. From 2748, guys. We're figuring out what skills we're gonna do on our for each march. Okay, ZKX, you have an interesting question. Does Guan's skill damage increase per shield, or as long as he has a shield, he gains? I thought it's when he has a shield, right? Let me see. I thought when the shield is up. But, afterwards, oh no, it's for 3 seconds. So once you get a shield, the shield could be off, but you could still do it for 3 seconds. So the timing kind of has to line up. Yeah. Charlemagne's skill would be good on William Wallace. Yeah, I'm not using William Wallace. Also, I don't have Charlemagne's shield up to level 5, so it's just like a 500 damage factor shield. It'll be way more effective on the Guan March. I just think I probably already have 2 skills I'm going to put onto that infantry, the Guan Skip March. I don't think I'm going to put the Charlemagne one on there. If it did go on one, it would go on that Guan March, though. Laura Severin, what's up, man? Oh, you're just looking at it? All right. So let's actually pull this up here. Okay, so we have all the skills here, right? This was as of a month ago. I think I have like 3 more accessories now, and then some of the armaments have changed, but it's okay. We'll update that later. So let me duplicate this. I'll delete this. Okay, and then I think I'm actually, I'll just pretend I'm running what I expect to run. So Nevsky. By the way, this, and I can see on the back end what we're doing. This is actually, I would say most content creators that do make stuff for presentation are using Canva. So this is Canva. And I think I'm going to run Joan and then Belly. I was actually at a mentoring call yesterday with someone. It was a private one, so you guys will never see that one. But she made an effort to make sure that I know she's a Belly hater at the end of her submission. It was funny. I mean, no, she's a Belly lover because I'm like some like Belly hater or something. You know, I don't hate him. I think he's the 5th best Cav commander. Okay. This is what I'll be running. So Cordoba will actually be maxed. Right. Oh, expertise. Okay. So from here, let's move all these skills over. Okay. Actually, I could pull up the chat while I'm doing this one. You think the Martel should be on engineering? Yeah, but if I put the Martel on there, right? I don't know, man. I think 30% more counterattack is actually kind of wasted on the engineering. Like, I'll trade a little bit better, but I feel like my archer marches in the field will be taking up way more damage. Okay, so this is how I was thinking starting out. We'll just go over here. Okay, so there's some I think it's for sure. It's gonna go. So for example, this one, this Guan one, to me for sure is gonna go on the Lucha Alex march, right? Because I have to put it on the infantry and I can't put it on the Guan march. But this one for sure will be here. Maybe I'll make this a little smaller. Snorlax, what's up, man? Both normal damage on LCLX. Yeah, but Light Fever, what about this one? The Slaying of Huasheng. This infantry one. 30% attack, 15% march speed. If I don't put it on this Lucha Alex, then I'll just be not using it. Right, so I can't do that. From here, oh no, what did I just do? Okay. Oh my god, okay. It's kind of crazy. I think this Viking Lords has to go on the other infantry march. Right. I think this one has to go here. New apartment? No. I've been here the whole time. It's just that it's during the day, so you could actually see the background. You know, I think I usually stream at night. The engineering is trading positive. It's hard for engineering to not trade positive, honestly. You know, so these two, I think for sure have to do this, right? It's just by virtue of you have 2 infantry marches, and you know you can't. Okay, so from here, this one you get a little less march speed. Right, but you get more damage, a lot more damage for the archer. And then this one, This one is just because I don't have the skill at 2. I'll have this at 5 by the time we fight. This one will be 30% defense and 15% march speed. So this one is a lot more. This is tanky stats and then a little bit more march speed. This is a lot more damage and slightly less march speed. So if I was gonna do Herman YSG Zio Boudica, I think since his Zio Boudica is slower, and even though I would say the Zio Boudica is way tankier than the Herman, I think I'm inclined to actually still do it this way, right? 15% march speed on the Zio Boudica, and then the 10% march speed and a lot more damage output. The DPS on this Herman YSG March is disgusting, by the way. If you guys ever tried it, that's a really, really good second Archer March that Big Kane turned me on to, and I'm really happy using it. Okay. I think these two for sure. From here, I was saying that I want to put this 10% less damage on the Archer March. I think I'm going to put it on this Herman YSG, right? Because I already have the tankier stat here. And I think 10% less damage taken. And then once you get below 60%, you could actually get another 30% all damage reduction for 3 seconds triggered off of a basic attack. And then probably the counter attack here, right, from Martel. Oh, wait a minute. I can't do that. You guys, okay. If I do the counter, I have to put this Archer stat one on one of the Archer Marches, right? So if that's the case, do I move this somewhere else and put the counterattack here? I think the counterattack has to go on an Archer or an Engineering March for you to be able to maximize it. So, well, let's leave. Oh, we'll put this to the side for now. Okay. So I think this Lord of the Land and Seas I want on the Guan Scipio, I just talked about, because it doesn't have much skill damage increase, which is its biggest weakness. Am I buying the Nebu dailies? Yeah, I'm buying the Nebu dailies right now. I mean, I have like 7 or 8 skill resets too, so I should be able to get that second skill to 5 for the 30% defense and 15% march speed. Engineering, they do crazy counterattack. With that bonus, you can make it crazier. Sometimes people mess up or balls move back. Okay. Give it a Herman. He gets targeted. If primary and YSG has no defensive hill stats. You're talking about the tankiness? Yeah. Do you think I should just make the Herman March a little bit tankier? A lot tankier, actually. 10% is very significant. And this, you also get 30% more defense on the Zio Boudica. Okay. We might have to do the counterattack somewhere else. Damn. Okay. I'll move this around. Okay. Now from here, let's see. Okay. Now let's actually figure out the second one for Luchet, right? So I feel like to maximize this, you almost have to pick one of the normal damage ones. So this Tadzeruli strike is normal damage. And then, wait, am I missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. This one I feel like I almost have to put on the Margaret Cordoba, because this one you get the more normal damage, which obviously benefits a siege, but then also Cordoba's smite, right? So the chance for getting the 100 extra rage is maximized over here on the siege march. So I feel like this one has to go over here. And then I was gonna put this healing factor one and the 50 rage on the engineering, but I guess you could make a case for the counterattack for that one too. So these could both potentially be here. So let's leave this here for now. Oblique tactics. You deal 25% more damage when the troop has less than 50% remaining, right? So I feel like I almost have to put this other normal damage attack one here on the Lucha March, right? So I probably will run it like this. Does the oblique tactics go on Siege March? That would actually be pretty disgusting too. Anyone with less than 50% of their troops remaining, the oblique tactics just deals 25% more damage. Oh man, it's actually kind of crazy because there's a lot of things that you could actually put on the Siege March. Which of these bastions unlock in the zone versus 2975? Here, let me show you. So, okay. So this next zone, right? We have a couple bastions. So the Mehmed one, the 20% skill damage. The Ramses ones I plan on using. The Cyrus one I'm skipping. The Nebu one, that's one with the 30% defense, 15% march speed, and the El Cid one I plan on using. So I actually plan on using these 4. And then once we actually get into the zone 7, right? So this is where you're fighting to at least hold on to a pass for Kingsland. What's probably going to happen is we're just going to fort over here, and we're each going to get a pass. And this Guan one is very easy to get, right? So for sure we're going to be able to get this one. So these 4 are the ones we still. These 5, right, are the ones we still need to pick up. El Cid, Nebu, Mehmed, Ramses, and Guan. The only one where there's a chance we don't get it, I guess, would be the Guan. But if we can't get this bastion, I don't even know why we're playing the game. Like right next to this pass over here, so we're gonna get it, right? So I think we'll actually be able to get all of these. You think I should give National Hero to Nevsky and then Oblique on Siege? Nah, the Cyrus one I don't have. It's at a level. It's at 1 point though. You know. You think the Cyrus one? Snorlax? Now, I'm just talking about fighting with the 7 marches, right? We do have some ultra fights before this past 7 opens. Here, I'm probably just gonna. By the way, in this ultra, I'm not gonna use Siege. I know it's gonna trade well, whatever. I think I'm gonna rotate between my Lucha Alex, and I'm gonna actually use ZL Herman. I'm just gonna rotate between these 2 marches for this ultra fight. I'm not gonna use Siege for that. Switch Nebu's and Herman's first skill together. The Herman YSG needs to be tankier. Yeah? Let's see. Let's go back. So, let's see. I feel like if you're already talking about pure damage output, right? The Herman YSG is higher. And if you give that 15% more all damage outside of Alliance territory, you're going to reap a bigger reward from that. Does this 10% less damage and then this like 30% all the damage reduction under 60% offset the potential 45% defense you get here? No. Oh no, we can switch that. That's not a big deal. So you guys don't think I should do National Hero? But that like... But the 10% normal damage and the rage is like exactly what the engineering needs. Just, I feel like I'm almost like hard locked with this skill on the Siege March. You know, I could see a case for oblique tactics, Martel's counterattack, even the instant proc for this, for the second siege. But I don't know. National Hero on Nevsky William. Yeah, but you're wasting the 10% normal damage, right? And then like this is like an okay like rage engine. Like 10% at most, on average, you're gonna trigger like once or twice at most in a 10-turn cycle. And this could trigger off a basic attack. No, I'm keeping this one for sure on the siege. The other ones you could talk me out of. Farmer, what's up? We're trying to figure out where we're gonna put all these skills for the support skills. Yeah, that's what we're figuring out right now. You know, I'm kind of making that here. Then I'll probably do it off stream, but I'm gonna upgrade. This is from a month ago, so upgrade all my where my equipment and my armaments are at too. Oh, you haven't looked at them? They're actually really good. Celtic Blood on Siege, but then you're going to take the counterattack and move it somewhere else. Oh, there's just so many things that will work well on the Siege. I just don't know. So we're not going to do oblique I'll probably just put oblique tactic here. This isn't like not necessarily a logical fit. And let's see. You get a small heal here and then more defense. Instant proc. But this already has an instant proc. Oh man. But think about it this way, right? Wouldn't the instant proc on Siege also be like amazing? If you could have 1,000 instant proc. That would be pretty sick too, wouldn't it? Yeah. Oblique on Siege. Yeah, like it's like, okay, like the healing is really good. Like, okay, so there's a couple things, right? Normal damage, I feel like you're wasting it unless you put it on a smite damage commander. Healing, you'll get by far the most out of it on a siege march, just because like it literally could like keep your, because if you're sending up your siege, right, you're literally only taking counterattack damage back, right? So if you could really keep that health high or even near max the whole time, like the amount of damage you could pump out would be amazing. Like I think the synergy there is really good, and you get rage. So I think these are pretty set, right? Like the infantry and the archer and national hero, and then I'll have 5 skills. I have to figure out which one to go on the second one for siege, and then just kind of how to. It's almost like a throwaway over here on the 2 caps, you know. Counterattack on Joan. Yeah. Yeah, this one will be the fastest. So if I have to not put it on the archers, which I really wanted to, right? But like this one, you almost lock because these 3 have to be on archer. So potentially the only thing I could take off of there would be this Divine Julius. I can also make the Herman YSG a little bit more tanky with this. And then put the counter attack here. Right? So now the ZL Boudica, it just has a high counterattack damage. There is a cast specific one. There's like Bertrand or some shit, but you know, who the hell has Bertrand maxed? Like, come on, man. So if I do this, right, then I would put this here, Divine Julius. This March probably needs tankiness a little bit more than the Nevsky March. You think the Oblique will go on the Siege? That would be really good too. But like Celtic Blood also gives you healing. So you kind of want to miss out on this healing though. This healing would be really good, right? Because like remember I talked about earlier, like the healing, you can maximize that on the Margaret Cordova. You were gonna max Burt for that? Oh no, I don't even think that skill is that good because it's like 10% attack, 10% health, and like 5% moral damage, right? Or some crap like that. The Empire Builder with Martel. Now I can't switch those two because I want to be able to split up this march speed, right? So there's 10% march speed here, and this will end up being 15% march speed. I don't want to stack all of it onto the ZL march. I would rather these two be separate. Tad Strike? What's Tad Strike? Let's see. What else are you guys saying? Snorlax is trying to save you. Don't do it, farmer. You want National Hero? Luce doesn't need more rage though. You know what I mean? You don't need another rage engine on Luce. So if you're talking about 10% normal damage anyways, like the rage engine works way better for this Margaret Cordova. Like out of the second part of this skill is like whatever, but you're really just putting this here for the 10% more normal damage. You run 4 archer marches? Perfect bastions for you. Oh yeah. If I really think, yeah, but ZKX, like Cordoba is a smite commander. That's why like this applies. Like this applies to Cordoba, the normal damage, and you get the rage engine. Oh, just 20 gold heads to get the second skill to level 5, then that's worth it. Especially, I feel like farmers probably like, listen, only hoarder, I mean only farmer, is probably really far ahead on gold heads. Just put both of the normal damage on Luchet. ZKX, if I put both of them on here, then this Guan one literally goes to waste. Right? This Guan one, because I can't put this on the Guan Scipio March. And this one's actually 5. So this would literally go to waste. Like, in the perfect world, this doesn't say infantry. And this could actually come over here. Every time I lead combat, I could heal 1000. This would like be a slam dunk over here on this Margaret Cordova. But I can't. It has to be infantry. So by default, I almost have to put it on the Luchet Alex. Well, not by default. I almost have to. I have to. Or I bench it. National and Celtic on Siege, and that's final. I would actually probably go that. Yeah, I think this was what I was planning on doing in the beginning, right? So I probably would actually still go here. And then from here, I almost feel like I have to just do the oblique tactics on here, just because this march is going to put out more damage, right? And then I guess the Nevsky William gets a second instant proc, and then they also get this kind of throwaway one. You know, I think this will be what I end up doing. Oblique on Nevsky. What do you mean double AoE? William does AoE, Joan does AoE, right? I feel like if you were gonna say which which one of these marches put out more damage. I think Joan Belly would do more damage than Nevsky William. If I had to take a guess. I could get Trajan. I mean, but my Trajan, that skill is only at 1. You know, my Trajan is not anywhere at all. Where's the Trajan? Yeah, I just have 2. I can like try to roll and get this 4 skill maybe to 2 points, and now I get 3% defense bonus instead of 2. This skill actually would be really good for siege as well, right? Because it's way easier for you to get in, like, stay in combat from far away. And then every time you stack this, right, like even at 2%, you could get it up to like 20% defense, I guess. I don't know. What's Hua skills? My Hua Q Bing is... Where is he? I don't think I invested anything in my Hua Q Bing. I might have gotten into... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's at 2. Yeah. Oh, wait. Maybe you guys are asking someone else. Farmer is at 1390 gold heads. Only Hoarder, of course, of course. You do want to max Hua. Hua Joan, Nevsky Williams, Scipio Luce, Herman YSG, and ZL Boudica. There you go. Looks good. Siege is better off putting the skills that increase the attack. Oh. If I did Hua and gave him the stack. Okay, well, yeah, here's another way to think about it, right? Belly Prime connects onto a target. Every one of these marches, maybe, you know, unless my siege is somewhere else, every one of these marches is going to do 12% more all damage to that march, right? Hua doesn't offer that. So maybe the single report won't be as good, but overall, like, if my 6 field marches are hitting the same target, they're all doing 12% more all damage to that target. It's very, very powerful. So, yeah, I need to upgrade that too. Actually, let me save this. I need to update this later. Okay, so this is what, 817? Save. Let's see. Okay. I think this is what we're gonna do for now. You know, it could change later. Herman's skill when launching a normal attack even included range normal attack. Ooh, that's a good point. Oh, that's a good point, actually. Because it usually says it's range normal damage. Frosty, that's a really good point. Let me think. I don't think it does, actually. Because if you look at... look, this deals more range normal damage. Range normal damage. I think it has to be ranged. Right? The national hero won't work for it. Okay. Let me check the Cordoba. Let's check out the V formation. I'm pretty sure it's not going to work now that Frosty brought that up. That's a good, really good point. Let's check the V formation. Yeah, because it launched one range basic attack per second. So it has to say range. Okay, so Frosty just saved me there. Yeah, then that's not gonna work. Okay, so then if I switch this out, you think oblique tactics? Do you think oblique tactics here with the, and then national hero goes here? The rage engine. Because I have to use it. I have to use this with the infantry, or else it goes to waste. Lucia doesn't need another rage engine, so yeah, it actually might be this way, right? It's lagging. Oops. It's not really lagging on my screen. Okay. Frosty, that's a good point. I think you might have saved me there. I think it has to actually say ranged. Okay. So is this the way to go? I think. You'll refer back to this later when we're setting the skills before Zone 7. Now for Alter though, if I was just going to do Alter and I was going to run 2 marches, I actually would probably still use this for Alter, right? Because every time you exit combat, you heal. That's also extra powerful for Alter. Would I actually just try to make this tankier too? And just put this Divine Julius on the Lucia Alex? So if I ran Zeo Herman, right, I would probably actually run this Empire Builder, because this is obviously going to be 15% more damage. And you get the march speed and the attack. I might actually run Empire Builder in Chaldean Archers. So run it like this for Zeo Herman for the altars. So now I'm actually adding 25% march speed, 15% defense, 15% attack, 15% more all damage. Right, I think that'll probably be the way to go. We could also bring Lord of Land and Sea there, where you just do a lot more skill damage on top of that. I don't know. That's what you told me from the beginning. Yeah, I run Siege with T4. It makes way more sense. You know, it's the biggest drop off from T4 to T5 is actually the tankiness, which matters a lot less when you're doing siege, right? Because you're either getting swarmed down or you're just taking counterattack damage from far away. So if you're getting swarmed down, does it make that big of a difference? No. And if you're just taking counterattack damage from far away, I'd rather deal like 10% less damage, be like squishier, but the healing cost is like significantly less. Is this TR Frosty? Yeah, I actually don't know which Frosty this is. Okay. So I guess this will be the way to go, right? All right, since you guys are on here, we're gonna actually see how lucky or unlucky I am. Let's pull this up. Rock, Armament. Okay. So the armament percentages. The chances of pulling a stat on the banner. I mean the flag. Is that the flag? Scroll, instrument, flag, banner. Okay, yeah, so it's a flag. It's 13. It's 17%. Right? I need a help. Okay, 17%. So I put it into this calculator. Okay. Binomial distribution calculator. Probably a success on a trial is 0.17. Do I do 10? 1. Okay. Right here, guys. So if you take a look at here, right? So the chances of getting 1 or more is 84.48% chance. So if I do this, right now I have this armament, right? You can see there's one irrelevant stat here. That's for this flag, right? And this is actually the third health slot. I have a 17% chance to hitting this every time. This is mid. Eventually, once I get far enough, I'll probably unscribe over it. But I don't want to pull any more V formation, so it's worth it. I ran out of the 10 rolls. So I'm actually going to reset this. And then in 10 shots, I have... what's the percentages again? Let's pull this up. An 84.4A, so I just say 85% probability of getting a siege health in 10 rolls. So we're going to go for it on stream. I wasn't planning on doing it, but screw it. I have enough of the 10 rolls. Hopefully you could just get it on the first one. Because if I have to do all 10, it's going to cost 50, right? And then the rest, I'm just going to wait for this pity system to come out, just because I'm not sure if I actually already pulled 10 rares. If I have, then I'm going to just get a guaranteed special inscription. Right, so I'll just kind of save it. But I'll read those chats later. Okay. I'm actually getting kind of nervous. Oh, what's my opinion on the sneak peek of the new Archer Garrison? It's actually hard to tell without seeing the stats. I think I was talking about it earlier. You wish you... I know, yeah. Without the stats, you can't tell. You wish they don't edge you like that. That's funny. Yeah, right? Because, like, and then, like, how does true damage actually work? Is it just like, okay, if it's like a 2,500 healing factor, it's just going to be a 2,500, like, AoE true damage or something? All of a sudden, it's broken as hell. Like, if it's 2,500, like, I'm bringing that shit on the field. Because it has march speed, it has healing, it has... looks like there's like defense, I think. Defense and march speed in the second stat. Right? And then, because it's true damage, you don't need any kind of like damage modifiers. You don't need attack. You don't need anything. So that's actually very, very interesting. Okay. Okay, I'm actually getting a little nervous. I'm ready to get hurt on stream. So you get 2 transmutation crystals per KVK. I'm actually going to use one here on this. And then if I get this, I will literally actually not have any irrelevant stats for my... this is a little old, so I've updated my armament a little bit. You can see right now my armament's down here, right? These are for the most part done, unless I get like a really good double. Probably even most rares I wouldn't actually roll now. It's just getting special inscriptions or really good doubles. And this is the only one where I need to finish it off. So we're going to try to finish this off right here and get rid of this barb damage. Oh god, 85%. Okay. Alright, here we go. So I'm going to reset this. Oh god. Please, just get a siege health on this first one. Worse barb damage. Oh my god, a still worse barb damage. 3 barb damages in a row? There we go. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. 1.5, I'll take it. Jesus Christ. That sucked. That sucked, like having to go through that on stream. I don't know if I want to ever do that on stream again. And there's only 1.5 health, but you know what? I'll take it. Okay. So my siege armament is done. Actually feels pretty good. Okay. Yeah, so for something like this, right, like calm is not that good, but it's actually part of this double here. Actually, wait, let me take it back. Calm is not that good normally because when you deal any kind of direct damage, 30% chance to gain 10% attack for 3 seconds. A little bit better for siege just because it's easier to just stay in combat, right, for longer. So if you do actually do a direct damage, you're way more likely to benefit from this 10% attack. But this is actually part of a double with the full draw, so, you know, I'll keep it. Now, I can roll this, right? So this one, they're both hardy. But you can see this one, I'm already starting at 3.4% health. This one's only at 1.7. So if I wanted to, I could try to roll this out. And if I hit almost anything, right? If I even hit like a 1.5 attack, I'm going to get a decent chunk more health. But I think I'm actually going to save my transmutation stones until I figure out if I could get a special inscription when the thing comes out in like 5 days. Because luckily I only took like three rolls or 4 rolls. So I can actually still roll 10 times right now by locking 2 stats. So we'll probably just keep it there for now. Yeah, even though it's a low roll, God, man, that was painful. That was painful to do on stream. It's like it just flashed before my eyes that it was just, I'm just gonna roll 10 and not get it, even though there was about an 85% chance, and that would have been bad. But all right, that was, oh man, I feel like adrenaline release from that. Yeah, but this is actually a very noob thing of me earlier. I don't know if you guys saw this before. I can't believe no one's ever corrected me. I was actually mentoring someone yesterday. We were talking about Invincible, and I said I didn't think it was that good. So the 5% skill damage resistance is actually pretty good by itself, right? Because if you look at Unswerving, you get 4%. This is one more, and resistance just means it's actually taking the whole skill damage, and you're just taking 5% less, right? But this one, I don't know why. I've seen this so many times, I just read it wrong. So their troop deals 3% more normal damage, up to 12%, to target troops for every 20% units the target has lost. That's like really straightforward. But for some reason, I thought it was how much health you have. Right? I don't know why. I just got that in my head from the first time I saw it. I've never really bothered like looking at it, or I look at it and I just like skip over it every time. So I thought this one was actually saying for every 3% troop that you lose, I mean 3%, every 20% of the units you lose, you deal 3% more normal damage. I'm like, this is not that good, because by the time you lose 20%, you're already doing way less damage than normal, right? Okay, then you get 3% more normal damage, or close to all damage, or a smite. But if it's actually the target, this thing just gets stronger and stronger as that the target gets weaker and weaker. And this actually becomes to me like way better than balance, right? Because for balance, once you hit 80% rage, most likely you're gonna increase your skill damage, right? But the next second you're gonna get to 100% rage, right? Or the next 2 seconds. Then you're going to fire your active skill. You'll get 8% more skill damage. Then there's going to be a second of downtime. Then you can potentially fire your second active skill. Just this skill right here, the balance, the second part, only the primary commander is going to benefit from this, right? You'll do some more like white damage, but only the primary commander is going to do 8% more skill damage, not the secondary commander. So like the combo of this is still the best special inscription for this slot for Wedge. But I would take Invincible over balance like any day of the week. This is just much better, right? Skill damage resistance is still going to be more valuable right now than normal damage resistance, just because right now you only really have Smite. smite commanders doing big smite damage. And then like this second part for balance to me is noticeably worse than the second part for invincible. So I'm actually really tempted to pull an invincible the next time I build up enough shards. But the problem is my my flag for my arch is already pretty good. Like assertive is one of my favorite regular ones. This is essentially just 2% moral damage, right? And then you also add another 3.5 attack. Like these two together, it's actually very, very strong. So even though I think invincible is better, I vote like hesitate because is this to invincible as big of an upgrade as whatever I'm upgrading from in wedge to balance? I don't know. I have to think about it. Does this start at 3% or 0? I'm gonna guess it starts at 0. Now, having said that, if you look at the attack tree, this skill right here, is it effortless? No. Yeah, this effortless right here, this actually starts at 2.5% and not 0, right? So you don't have to be in combat for 10 seconds to actually get that 2.5%. You start out already with a 2.5% all damage increase. So effortless actually is one of the best skills in any tree, in my opinion. It's really, really good. And it could potentially go up to 10, which is crazy. But for some reason, the smite version of this, I forgot what it's called, it's not effortless, starts at 0, which makes it a lot worse. But I do think, I mean, without, like, I haven't tested it, I'm not planning on it, but I do think the invincible actually starts at 0, right? Because this says deals 3% for every 20% of the unit loss, up to 12%. So if you think, like, if you're losing 20% unit, right? If you start at 0, and then at 80% you're at 3, 60% you're at 6, 40% you're at 9, 20% you're at 12, right? And then if they're at 0%, they're already sad face. Like that math would make a lot more sense. So I think this actually starts at 0 and not at 3. But then effortless, I think it starts at 2.5. Yeah, the descriptions are very weird, right? Like this William Wallace one literally wrecked him. I think he would have been better than Alex if the skill was functioning the way it was written. But where's William Wallace? This third skill here, right? Like any normal person, when you read this, whenever this commander deals smite damage with a damage factor greater than 1,000, 80% chance that the damage would be increased by 20%. Right? That would make sense. That just makes sense. So you have Luce, who does 5 targets, right? And it's 2250. And then even if you divide that by 5, it will be 1125. I mean, if you hit 5 targets, it'll be 1125. That's greater than 1,000. You expect all 5 of these to be increased by the 40%. But with testing, if you hit 5 targets with this, only one of the skills will actually get that 40% increase, and it becomes a lot weaker. And honestly, if that skill worked the way it was written, I think that commander would be the best march in the game. But because it was written that way, it's still really good, but I would actually take Luce Alex over it. Right. Is that everything? Actually got a lot done, guys. Figured out the skill I was going to use. Actually was able to get rid of my last relevant stat. So good, that's gone now. This is good. You know. Wait, where's my chat? Oops. We don't need that calculator now. 84.48% chance. It's actually funny because if I think I got it on the 4th roll, right? Let me see. This is where like the nerd comes in. Okay, so this one I got it on the 4th roll. Oh, 5th roll. Okay, so the chances of getting it on 5 rolls. So if I don't do 10, I do 5 here. right? I had a 60.6% chance of getting it before or by the 5th roll. So I got on the 5th roll. So, you know, I would say I'll call that lucky, right? Lucky that, you know, 60% chance to actually do that, and I did it, and now I don't have to worry about it anymore. I guess I'm happy there. All right, let's take a look here. No one else is streaming. They're slacking here. Oh, by the way, you guys want to check out the zone? This I expected win to win, but this is pretty shocking. Like 29.75 is completely out of this zone. It's kind of weird that the N70F is red because they're also red. I just chose it, but like they don't even touch the bastions anymore. They like push them off the bastions. They just bully them off these bastions. I mean, the Charlemagne doesn't matter. I would assume everyone in Earth Camp already got the Thutmose one. It would be really awkward if they didn't, but like push them out of here this quick, like this. That was a little surprising. I don't know what was going on. All right, but anyways, accomplished what I was looking for. Thank you guys for watching again. Next time I stream, it'll probably actually be when the new armament system comes out. So if this is right, where is it? If this is right, there we go. Right, this armament system where you could get the pity and the special and all that stuff, it should come out on the 22nd, I think. So that's like 5 days from now. And then also on the 22nd, you know, it's either the Daruks or the Esmeralda's house. I'm going to max that. So by next Thursday, I should actually be able to do some crafting or some like awakening, and then hopefully maybe rolling my special inscription into something. And that'll probably be the next stream. And then after that, it'll probably be an altar fight or two, and then Zone 7 will open, and then we'll actually get real KVK and not a lot of this posturing. All right, so thank you guys for watching. No one to raid, but